Good evening, I'm Jason Vio. This is CBC Windsor News. Thanks for watching. A big lawsuit between Stellantis and a Canadian auto parts supplier that's threatening to shutter plants in the U.S. The CBC's Chris Ensing brings us the story.
These court documents outline a battle over brake rotors that Stellantis says could bring two of their auto assembly plants to a halt. Well, the company that is building them, the auto supplier, says Stellantis is asking to buy these parts below cost. Now, the facility that makes these rotors is owned by Peterson Spring. It's in Woodstock, Ontario. Stellantis takes these, ships them over to the United States, and builds vehicles at two assembly plants in Michigan. Now, this fight started a couple weeks ago when Stellantis said that Peterson Springs called them and asked them to pay twice the agreed upon price, or the supplier would stop shipping the brake parts. Stellantis calls that extortion in these court documents and wants a court to order these shipments to continue and place the Woodstock facility under an independent management from an interim receiver. The Peterson Springs company, they say it's a little different. They bought the company that builds these brake rotors in the summer and didn't know what the pricing structure was with Stellantis because they didn't know how much they were selling them for and how much it cost to build the brake rotors. Once they found that out a few weeks ago, they claim in court documents, they asked Stellantis to increase their price because it wasn't economically feasible to continue the operation as is. Both sides have reached an agreement that continue the shipment of these parts at least into next week. After that, it's not exactly clear what will take place. This whole battle brings into light a discussion about tariffs. That's because earlier in the year, U.S. President Donald Trump had threatened to put a 25% tariff on all auto parts crossing the border. Flavio Volpe with the Auto Parts Manufacturing Association says that this shows exactly how complicated that could get because of the supply chain.
The industry isn't going anywhere. It isn't leaving Canada. It isn't going to somehow easily move over there without bankrupting some of the car makers. And it girds us, the Canadian interests here, for the fight with the White House. It's very complicated, and vehicle assembly in the U.S. is at risk when things like this happen, whether they happen because a company is refusing to deliver parts or because the White House makes the wrong move.
Stellantis does argue in these court documents that if they can't get these brake rotors from the Woodstock facility, it could take up to 2 years to find a space that can build these parts and meet critical safety tests. They say any type of disruption like this would be a massive and immeasurable hit to the auto industry and would lay off countless numbers of employees. Chris Ensing, CBC News, Windsor.
A labor dispute between Titan tool workers and their employer on Howard Avenue escalated this morning after some workers were allegedly hit by a truck trying to leave the property. The CBC's Dawson Chen reports.
I'm Dawson Chen standing outside of Titan Tool on Howard Avenue, where a dispute between this long-standing business and its union-represented workers continues. Now the union says it wants to press charges after an alleged incident between 3 of its picketing members and a transport truck moving out equipment.
Our member at this moment receiving the medical attention they needed. And we want Windsor Police to lay criminal charges against the driver.
That's the voice of Emile Nabout, president of Unifor Local 195. The union represents 28 active employees at Titan Tool and Die. They've been locked out since August 11th. The union says the tool and die shop won't negotiate and has been moving equipment out of the workplace for relocation in the U.S. Nabout says the terms of an injunction allow picketers to delay vehicles up to 15 minutes at the property entrance. He says those terms were violated on the morning of November 10th when a transport truck carrying equipment drove through the picket line and made contact with 3 members. Nabout says no one was seriously injured, but he believes the incident shows the state of the dispute.
This employer have a complete disregard to the worker have complete disregard to the bargaining process, have the completely disregard to the community of Windsor. They have zero guarantee for any job, even if we give them the concession they were looking for. They have no guarantee for any work. So this employer definitely is playing game with the people's life.
Legal counsel for Titan Tool wrote to CBC News that police were contacted in advance about the company carrying out court orders lawfully, efficiently, and safely. Windsor police confirmed they are investigating the incident. Meanwhile, the lockout continues and the union says no negotiations are scheduled. Dawson Chen, CBC News, Windsor.
Habitat for Humanity is known for building affordable homes from the ground up. Now they're launching a new partnership where that construction actually happens mostly inside. The CBC's Jacob Barker explains.
There are 16 housing units like these ones that are destined for a Habitat for Humanity project in Amherstburg. The modular units are being built right here on this factory floor in Oldcastle, and the hope is that they can increase affordable housing across the country and make its construction more efficient.
And when these units leave our factory, they're fully finished with cabinets, sinks, windows, doors, everything.
Whether it's a single family, a duplex, or a fourplex, these can be constructed to fit any need. The homes are modular, comparable to a known children's toy.
For sure, it's a bit like Legos. There's a connection system that puts all these pods together.
Saving time on the construction site, keeping crews up to the elements, and the company says ensuring quality.
As it goes out with these steel chassis, they have to be rigid so we don't have drywall cracks or broken windows or water infiltration. Everything QC is out of the shop.
They're built indoors and dropped on their foundations.
All you do on site is final connections after that.
A-Links belongs to Amoco, a major construction company headquartered in the region. They broke ground with Habitat on Monday indoors.
And we're going to be partnering together to not only build 16 homes in Amherstburg, but to innovate a modular design that can address affordable home ownership across the country.
A homegrown project they hope can spread.
We use all Canadian-made products, Canadian-made steel. We're ready to take it across the province and across the country and help the government meet its objectives in terms of more housing faster and having that housing be affordable and also high quality.
The Amherstburg development is scheduled to be completed by mid-next year. As far as the cost of these houses go, it's on par with regular construction means they use. But
where we're gaining the benefit is the quality of the house and the time. So we can build year round, we can build in a quality controlled environment, there's less waste, and so we think that's a great innovation.
A way to scale up at a time when the lack of housing is at crisis levels. According to Habitat, that need in Windsor, Essex is sky high, with 9,000 families waiting for safe and affordable housing. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Oldcastle.
Our first taste of winter swooped in over the weekend. It was a snowy Sunday here in Windsor, Essex, and it kept first responders pretty busy. Essex County OPP say they responded to the first snow-related crash on Highway 401 on Sunday afternoon around 3. Over the next 5 hours, they responded to 20 crashes on the 401. No serious injuries were reported, though 2 OPP officers suffered minor injuries when their cruiser was hit from behind while assisting at one of those scenes. Police are reminding all drivers to slow down and get over when you see those emergency lights. Welcome back, Colette. Certainly a snowy Sunday for us here. Not really sticking around, though.
Yeah, that's right. Nice to see. You know, as we get towards midweek, we're going to actually have the temperatures warming up. So things will be changing. But right now it's -3. We've got those winds coming in at 30 kilometers an hour. It feels like -10. That is the wind chill. I thought I'd just show you some of the other communities. It was actually just south of Chatham-Kent where there was nearly 13 centimeters. Kitchener at 15, 16 in Hamilton. And even the nation's capital had almost 12 centimeters of early season snow. There's been a little... See that lightning strike? A little bit of thunder snow coming in from time to time. A few of these flurries may make their way towards us, but otherwise it'll be -4 tonight, only 2 for the high tomorrow, but I'll get to that warm up coming up.
Okay, thanks, Colette.
You're welcome.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is out selling his government's Buy Canadian policy. It's meant to ensure federal dollars are spent on domestic materials and services, a move to make the economy more independent. But as the CBC's Olivia Stefanovic reports, it could also come with a cost.
With the trade war dragging on, the Prime Minister is making his next move.
Now, we're going to build. But it's not just about what we build, it's also how we build.
Launching a new form of protectionism.
We will build Canadian by becoming our own best customer.
It's called the Buy Canadian policy, mandating all federal agencies and crown corporations to select Canadian suppliers by default.
It's not going to resolve the crisis that we're in, but it sure is going to be helpful.
The steel industry is applauding the move after being hit with 50% tariffs from the White House.
It's a devastating situation, so this, along with other things, really helps to stabilize the industry, and that's what we're all working towards.
But industries are also looking for provinces and territories to match the policy.
We do welcome a focus on building and buying more goods right here from Canada.
Under the directive, when domestic suppliers are not available, purchases will still need some Canadian content or be sourced from trusted partners if they get ministerial approval.
Every time you add a policy on the current or future project, that would kind of put a hurdle in the normal process.
Ottawa is setting aside $200 million from the federal budget for the policy. The construction industry warns it could drive up the cost to build.
So we'll see the detail, but that's something that we just need to be aware. When you add a policy like this, it might have a project may cause delay, cost increase, and maybe that's going to have an impact on how much project you can go.
The Prime Minister hasn't yet revealed the policy's regulations, but Mark Carney says they will be applied to the federal government's push to build affordable homes and major projects, with more to be announced on Thursday. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Ottawa.
A hidden archive has surfaced beneath the battlefield of Vimy Ridge. As Colin Butler reports, the chalk walls where soldiers once waited to fight are speaking again, thanks to 21st century technology.
In the tunnels beneath Vimy Ridge, where Canadian soldiers once waited for battle, the last post echoes, a tribute to the soldiers who left their mark on these chalk walls.
It's like walking into a church alone, and you see these carvings on the wall that these soldiers had done, in some cases, right before they died.
These are the tunnels below Vimy Ridge, a haunting gallery of names and art carved by Canadian soldiers on the eve of battle.
There were subway tunnels through here, and they were all connected, so the supplies as well as the men are moving through this vast tunnel system.
At Vimy Ridge, Canada proved itself, a young nation finding its voice amid the thunder of war. While they waited, anxious soldiers passed the time carving and writing in the soft walls.
Now, this is very famous.
Now, more than a century later, new messages are being uncovered thanks to 21st century technology. New handheld 3D scanners capture the carvings in color and detail.
So these guys, Beckett and Mason,
revealing more than 30 new names once lost to time.
That's just a really prime example.
Once scanned, the carvings are digitally realized, linked to the name and face of the soldier who carved them, offering a glimpse into their thoughts, often fixed on love and home.
It links the past with the present, and it gets that message across that we need to remember the people that actually served.
Their work is a race against time. The tunnels are unstable, and some have already collapsed. A Canadian was killed in 1998 while documenting the art.
The chalk that is down there, it's very, very fragile. So we have to get there now with a sense of urgency as much as we can, to record as much as we can.
A century later, these tunnels still speak, but they can't hold out forever. Teams are shoring up tunnels, planting trees to preserve the fragile chalk, fighting to ensure this history isn't swallowed by the earth. Colin Butler, CBC News, London, Ontario.
A live look outside here at the Tower Cam, looking at the Ambassador Bridge on this cool evening. We've definitely felt those cooler temperatures. Colette Kennedy is standing by live for a full look at your weather forecast a little later in the show. And coming up right after the break, we will have more news for you, including what's going on with the U.S. government shutdown across the border. Stay with us. Canada's healthcare system just got a jolt. International health authorities have taken away the country's measles elimination status. Jennifer Yoon looks at why it's happened and what can be done.
For about 30 years, Canada has been able to stop measles from running rampant in our communities. For the past year, it hasn't been able to stop the spread, and now that failure to contain the outbreak is officially being marked. The Pan American Health Organization says Canada has lost its measles elimination status.
Despite the great efforts made by the government, health authorities, and health workers of Canada, the country has lost its measles elimination status.
For years, vaccination levels have been flagging, and some pockets of Canada have historically low vaccine uptake. Last year, the virus got into one of those underprotected communities, Mennonites in southern Ontario, and just kept spreading, hitting parts of Ontario and Alberta particularly hard. Transmission has been ongoing for more than a year now.
It was the introduction of measles from outside Canada into this community. And once it was in the community, then it was able to spread very quickly. And so that's how it happened. But it's, as the Pan American Health Organization told us, it's really an unprecedented outbreak.
Experts say Canada can regain our measles elimination status by lowering barriers to vaccination, fighting misinformation, building trust with vaccine-hesitant communities, and establishing a national vaccine registry.
We are and should be a global leader in public health, health security, and healthcare. And this bruises our reputation. It's a giant wake-up call that we have gaps in our public health infrastructure and that we need to fill those gaps, and we need to do so urgently.
Canada will have to submit a corrective action plan to the Pan American Health Organization, detailing what it plans to do to regain its measles elimination status. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
The longest U.S. government shutdown in history could soon come to an end after 8 Democrats broke ranks Sunday night to move forward a Senate deal to reopen the government. But as Katie Nicholson reports, the chaos from the 41-day shutdown continues.
At American airports, tens of thousands of cancellations and delays continue amid air traffic staffing issues as federal employees go more than a month without pay. But an end is in sight.
Today, the Senate voted to start reopening the government.
After 8 senators brokered a deal with Republicans.
We applaud the 7 Senate Democrats and 1 independent senator who did the right thing. They decided to put principle over their personal politics.
The move, deeply divisive among Democrats who had been holding out to extend health care credits that are due to expire. All they are guaranteed in the deal is a Senate vote on a health care bill before the second week of December.
It doesn't change the core problem here, which is we need to decisively address the Republican health care crisis.
The deal's path through both chambers is still just beginning. And so for now, the shutdown grinds on, prompting a Delta Airlines pilot to soothe rattled travelers.
I know we probably have quite a few nervous flyers today. It is perfectly understandable. I want to emphasize this aircraft does not move a single inch unless both my co-captain Michael and myself are absolutely certain it's safe to do so.
While the U.S. president Monday scolded air traffic controllers on social media, telling them they must get back to work now. Anyone who doesn't will be substantially docked, and that he would recommend a bonus of $10,000 for those who didn't take any time off. This as their association head defended their absenteeism and compounded stress working without pay for 41 days.
The added stress leads to fatigue. The fatigue has led to the erosion of safety and the increased risk every day that this shutdown drags on.
A shutdown that may soon end, but take weeks, possibly months, for those affected to shake off. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
Still to come here on CBC Windsor News Live at 6. Colette Kennedy is standing by for a full look at weather coming up right after the break. Colette Kennedy joins us live for a look at weather now. Colette, the snow that was kind of falling on Sunday looked a bit like a snow globe. It was kind of beautiful to look at. Didn't stick. And I know the kids were very excited to go out sledding on Sunday, but because it wasn't sticking,
not quite yet.
A little bit too soon.
Yeah, really glad though that not everybody was happy about it, but I'm glad there are some folks, small ones, that are pretty happy about this. Yeah, maybe next time it'll stick. We'll get there, folks. We'll get there. The current temperatures, though, we still have that very cold air in place, so it's going to be here for about another day and a half. We really are going to rebound nicely, though, by midweek. So -3 is our current temperature. Goderich also at -3, and Kitchener and Chatham-Kent at -2. But we've got to factor these winds in, which have been strong, and with those feeling like -9 to -10. That is our wind chill, pretty significant. The sustained winds still for Windsor coming out of the northwest at 30 kilometers an hour, and in some areas there are still some gusts like Sarnia and Chatham-Kent right around 40 kilometers per hour. And those winds, the gusts will start to back off, but we still have some winds through the overnight hours, and those are also driving these squalls. I was pointing out that thunder snow right there a little bit earlier in the show, but really the squalls coming off of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron because of those strong winds. So warnings in place if you do have any traveling that you're going to be doing. These will be some nasty areas, and even some watches in the areas between when the winds shift just a little bit. It changes where those lake effect streamers are. And I wanted to show you this perspective because you can see still that counterclockwise circulation around the area of low pressure. And then as the lakes are going over what are relatively warmer waters of the Great Lakes, as those winds cross, they're picking up all that moisture. And that's why some of the totals were so much more significant. West end of Lake Ontario, they were just over 15 centimeters for Hamilton. And there tomorrow towards London, often Goderich to London through that corridor, yes, you'll be looking at some poor road conditions. Speaking of which, there are some winter weather travel advisories for the Bruce Peninsula and over towards the GTA. But what comes next is not much for southwestern Ontario. Maybe a stray flurry, maybe a stray shower as the temperatures warm towards midweek, but there'll continue to be some lake effect further to the east of us. So overnight temperatures, we are going to slide to -4. Still enough winds that it will feel like -10 tomorrow morning. The high only 2, but I did say we would rebound, so it's a chilly Remembrance Day, but then those temperatures are going to come up quite nicely and put us back to seasonal.
All right, thanks so much, Colette. That does it for us here at CBC. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.